Good evening, everyone, and welcome to At Lafayette Live for July 8th, 2024. Well, as everybody jumps in, you know the drill. Let us know in the chat where you're from. Where are you watching from? Here in the Lafayette area? Lafayette or West Lafayette? Battleground? Oxford, Otterburn, Fowler? Anybody here from Indianapolis? Yeah, let us know where you're from. Got some fun stuff to talk about this evening. It's been a fun 4th of July here in the Lafayette area. I hope you guys had lots of fun. We did our own fireworks on the 4th of July on Thursday. We gathered up family and some friends in the backyard, and courtesy of Scott's Tent of Snakes over by Market Square, shot off a whole bunch of fun fireworks. I think the kids had a good time. I know I had a good time lighting them up with my blowtorch. Always a good time. Yeah, I think we hit it about right this year. In past years, it feels like maybe we did a few too many. The kids get a little tired. I mean, it doesn't get dark till, 10 o'clock. So start off with some of the smaller stuff and pick it up as, pick up in size as we go. And in past years, we had so many that by the time we got to the end, the kids were a little tired. So this year, I think we hit the sweet spot. We got it just about right. And then on Saturday, we went to the fireworks in Brookston. And if you've never been to the fireworks in Brookston, boy, you're really missing something special. It's pretty awesome. You get right up close to the launch site. I mean, it's safe. They have the line where you can get no closer than you're supposed to, but you're never going to get close to a fireworks launch site than here in the park, than there at the park in Brookston. And the amount of fireworks, just the sheer number of fireworks they shoot off is just absolutely astounding. They kick off with a bang with just a giant what many shows would be your finale, and it's how they start. It was truly amazing, really really cool to see. So, and then just shells upon shells upon shells. I mean, the show was half an hour long. It was absolutely amazing. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. If you've joined in with us before, welcome back. We're glad that you're here. I'd like to remind you this show is brought to you by myself, by Geoff Gooch. I'm a realtor with At Properties and the Russell team here in the Lafayette area. So if you or your loved ones are looking for a home here in the Lafayette area, I'd love to be your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice. Please reach out. My contact information is there. If you scan that QR code, you can actually get stuff directly onto your phone. So thanks for being here. And also take a minute to like and subscribe. Helps the channel out. We have more than 150 videos on the channel now. Things that are fun to do in Lafayette. Information about Lafayette and West Lafayette and the Tippecanoe County area. Real estate information, just all sorts of fun things that you can go check out on the channel. So go check that out. All right. So to kick off this week, it is official. In Tippecanoe County, the Area Plan Commission last week, approved a ban on short-term rentals in single-family neighborhoods. So these are the kinds of things that you would see on Airbnb or VRBO. These are now banned in four zoning areas. It's R1, R1A, R2, I believe. Four total, but it's the zoning areas in Tippecanoe County that include single-family homes. So you can no longer buy a single-family home in Tippecanoe County and then put it up as a short-term rental on any of the short-term rental platforms. Now, this does not exclude things like apartments or condos. It is specifically for single-family homes. And there are a couple of carve-outs. You can still have, it bans transient guest houses, but you can still have transient guest rooms. So and you can still have transient guest rentals, meaning that if you live in the home, but you're going to go on vacation or sabbatical or be away, you can rent your home for up to 60 days per year. It just cannot be an unoccupied rental that you only use for short-term rentals. So in some ways, that's kind of getting back to how Airbnb really got its start. You know, the story of how Airbnb got started was these guys who basically went and couch surfed, air mattress surfed in a friend's room, in a friend's home, and then thought up this platform, and it all kind of flowed from there. So the Airbnb and VRBOs and all the short-term rentals that are currently on the market are grandfathered in. So if you own a single-family home that you currently use as a short-term rental, you're grandfathered in, but you can't buy one today and jump into the market. Take that for what it's worth. Fortunately, unfortunately, this was all done largely with the eye of making sure that our housing inventory here in the Lafayette area, is not gobbled up by these transient rentals. Was it really the case that that was happening? I'm not sure that's the case. There aren't really that many rentals out there. There are other factors affecting the housing inventory here in Tippecanoe County. There are just not enough new builds. Will this help? I hope so, but is it a panacea? No, one thing isn't going to fix the housing shortage here in Lafayette and West Lafayette in the Tippecanoe County area, but this came to be because West Lafayette felt they were having a problem with these rentals close to the Purdue campus, so they were really cracking down, and that led the rest of Lafayette and Tippecanoe County to get on board so that everybody was kind of on the same page. So there you go. It's kind of a big deal here in the area. There's a lot of passion on both sides of the issues, but it did pass, so that is now law. Take a moment and hit the like and subscribe button if you would. It helps the channel out a whole lot. What else is going on here in the Lafayette area? Well, there are a couple of hubs for the performing arts here in the Lafayette area. In downtown Lafayette, you've got the Long Center and the Lafayette Theater, which is now owned by the city and run by the Long Center for the Performing Arts, the same group that runs the Long Center. And their schedule for if you want to go see shows in downtown Lafayette, that's where you go. But then you've also got Purdue University. And at Purdue University, the presenter, the person that brings shows to campus, is called Convocations. And Convocations just released their new schedule for the year. So I thought that we would take a few minutes and pop through their schedule and talk about some of the more interesting shows coming up this year. So we'll talk about the venues that they're in as they go. The first one's going to be in Elliott Hall of Music, and a good number of them this year are at Elliott Hall of Music. If you've never been, Elliott Hall of Music is a 6,000 seat theater. And if you don't really know what that means until you step inside of a 6,000 seat theater. Most theaters that you would see at like a high school to performing arts center are 800, 1,000, maybe 1,500 seats. A big commercial theater is going to be 2,000, maybe 3,000 seats. Elliott Hall of Music is 6,000 seats. It's just unbelievably huge, and it's really kind of indescribable how big it is, and you really can't get a sense for it until you're there. But the first show of the year that I thought was really interesting is coming up September 15th at 6 p.m. It's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse live in concert. This is a really cool event. We went to the first one last year, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Into the Spider-Verse. This is the movie played live. This is the movie played with a live band, orchestra, and DJ. So the movie music, the score, really relies on beats and scratching, and so there's actually a live DJ there playing, as well as the orchestra playing the music live on stage. So I've been to a few of these over the years, and they're really, really cool to see. normally you see the orchestra playing on stage. I've seen Star Trek that way. That one comes to mind with that big orchestral score with all those horns, and it's really cool. But man, the DJ really kind of brings something unique to it. So go check that out on September 15th. On September 21st, West Lafayette is hosting their 29th annual Global Fest, and it's in the downtown Lafayette area. What is downtown Lafayette? Well, that's the area around the around the West Lafayette Library and West Lafayette Town Hall, that area down there. So Global Fest is really kind of an interesting festival. They have booths set up with global foods, and these global foods are actually made, cooked, and served and presented by people from those cultures. So they're pulling from the diverse cultural backgrounds of our community and of Purdue University. So it's a great way to go experience some fantastic and interesting foods that are from their home, from these people's home cultures. But then there are also performances. There's a big stage there. There'll be some dance. There'll be a few bands, and they tend to be they are international music, so not things that you're going to hear around here. But it's an outdoor street festival with a concert, September 21st at 3 p.m. On September 25th, they've got the musical Dear Evan Hansen. I'm a pretty big musical fan. I know a lot of people love Dear Evan Hansen. I'll have to admit to not knowing a ton about that one, but that's going to be at Elliott Hall of Music at 7:30 on September 25th. One that I'm very, very excited about, though, is this one. I'm going to put it up. What do you think? September 29th at 2 o'clock at Elliott Hall of Music, a conversation with Yo-Yo Ma. I don't think it really matters if you're a big fan of classical music or not. I think almost everybody knows who Yo-Yo Ma is. Fantastic classical cello player, but with a personality. He's a humanitarian. He's a connector. He wants, people to connect to the music, but he wants to connect people to people. And so I've seen him in concert before. This is not going to be a concert. This is going to be a conversation. He's going to have a journalist, interviewer lead the conversation, and then there'll also be snippets of music that he'll play. But any chance to see Yo-Yo Ma live on stage is okay with me. So I'm really looking forward to that on September 29th. Convocations is continuing its engagement with jazz music on October 12th. The Isaiah J. Thompson Quartet at he's a jazz pianist. Check him out here. He's going to be playing at Loeb Playhouse on their Steinway that they're awfully proud of there. And then October 29th, back at Elliott, Tina, the Tina Turner musical. My wife is a big Tina Turner fan. I'm a big Broadway fan. I'm excited about Broadway in Lafayette. I hope this show goes well, October 29th. And then skipping ahead to January 21st, Terrence Blanchard's Fire Shut Up in My Bones. So this is a part of the celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So it will be here as a concert excerpt next year. January 24th in Loeb Playhouse, the Charles Mingus Big Band. If you know anything about jazz music, about big band music, you'll know the name Charles Mingus. He's going to be here on January 24th. The musical Hadestown at Elliott on February 6th at 7:30 p.m. The musical Pretty Woman is going to be at Elliott February 20th at 7:30 p.m. Yes, they made a musical of Pretty Woman. Should be pretty exciting to see. we have a run of Hamlet. So if you want to get a little bit of the Bard at Loeb Playhouse from actors from the London stage. I've seen these guys perform a few times. They're pretty fantastic. It's Shakespeare in a really accessible way. And then April 3rd, back at Elliott, we've got the musical Chicago. I think that this has been a perennial favorite for years. Pretty exciting to have it coming here to Purdue. And then finally, the last show on the schedule for the moment is April 10th, a chamber music show. Vivaldi's Four Seasons at 300 years old. Chamber orchestra playing at Loeb Playhouse. So that is the convocation season as it stands right now at Purdue University. So if you're into live shows, there's some great things here. If you've never been to a live show, there's a number of them here that are really accessible and a great way to check to get into it, and you really should go check them out. All right. So take that minute in between here and hit the like and subscribe button. Like I keep saying, helps us out with our channel here at YouTube. Check out our 150 videos. And remember, if you need home here in the Lafayette area, reach out. My contact information is right there. So I thought this afternoon, this evening, today, we would explore 3 of the hottest neighborhoods in the Lafayette and West Lafayette area. That's right. Today we're going to explore 3 of the hottest neighborhoods here in the Lafayette and West Lafayette area. So we're going to begin in Lafayette with a neighborhood called Highland Park. And Highland Park is kind of the core part of original Lafayette, if you will. Here is the map for where it's located. It's bordered by 9th Street on the east, Kossuth on the west, and the Lafayette Country Club down on the south side. It's got the Highland Avenue stretching through it with the looping Shawnee Avenue, but you can see here's downtown Lafayette up here. So that's where Highland Park is located, and it's kind of known for having, old ivy-covered homes. It's that neighborhood that's right next to the country club. It's a great location with a central location. It's close to the country club. It's close to Central Catholic, which is just down the street a little bit. You're right at the top of the 9th Street Hill. Downtown Lafayette is not that far away. You could walk down the hill. You may not want to walk back up the hill to check out all that downtown Lafayette has to offer. And you're not far away from Lafayette, Geoff. The south side isn't really that far away either in the big scheme of things. Here's Veterans Memorial Parkway down here on the south side. So it's really kind of a great centralized location. But it is a fantastic neighborhood here in the Lafayette area on the Lafayette side of the Wabash River. And let's check out what the market has looked like there over the last year. So let me get into the right view. Highland Park. So it is not a giant neighborhood. There are not that many homes in the neighborhood. It's only a couple of blocks big. But in the last year, there have been 4 homes sold. The median price was $400,551. So $400,000 is actually a pretty decent price for a neighborhood like Highland Park here in the Lafayette area, with the low price being $395 and the high being $400. But the interesting thing about this is the average list price was 377 and the average sold price has been 401. So they're selling for significantly over asking in this neighborhood. But in the last year, there have only been 3 sold and there's currently 1 active. And they are all older homes. They were built in 1914, 1936, 1921. They're all around 3,000 square feet. The smallest was about 2,700 square feet, and the largest was about 2,800 square feet. So let's pick one at random here and just let's look at the active one for sale. Actually, it's 726 South 9th Street. Let's pop in and have a look here. So this is a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath in Highland Park. Been on the market for about 41 days. So that's a little bit of a long time right now here in the Lafayette area. But let's pop in and look at the pictures real quick and check this guy out. Yeah, beautiful older home on the hill. Love that woodwork. And if you're confused, that's the bathroom. The stained glass windows going up the stairs. The parquet floors. That wooden staircase, just stunning. More leaded glass in the powder room. Fireplace. That living room is quite large. I'm interested to see what the kitchen looks like when we get to it. Look at the columns on that mantle. Isn't that impressive? Formal dining room. Look at the size of that. That bay window there. There you go. There's the kitchen. Definitely been renovated. Might have been a few years ago. Maybe need some new countertops. But man, that's quite a large kitchen with that island. It's pretty amazing. Love it. We keep scrolling through. I got some serious cabinet pantry space there, it looks like. Breakfast room. The landing at the top of the stairs they have set up as a sitting room. The primary bedroom, hardwood floors there. Look at the original wood doors. A lot of room. One of the secondary bedrooms. And the 3rd bedroom. The family bathroom. What did we say this was? 1 bath, I believe. 1.5. So doesn't have an ensuite. Minor thing. But you can see how those bay windows were built out there. 2-car garage. And you still get some yard. A little close-up view of the wood trim. And that porch. Think about the rocking you could do on that porch. Yeah, so that's a sample of a home in Highland Park. So again, a neighborhood kind of central to the original part of Lafayette. So that is hot neighborhood number 1 in the Lafayette area. Hot neighborhood number 2 is Barberry Heights. So Barberry Heights is located in West Lafayette. And to pull out a little bit, give you some perspective, here's West Lafayette and Purdue University. It's just across the street, just to the east of the Payless Supermarket. It's kind of bordered on the south here by Kent Avenue, on the north by Cumberland, Covington on the west, and Henderson on the east. Has a great park. If you've never taken your kids there, I highly recommend it. George Lamel Park. It's a fun little park there. But people love this neighborhood. It's central to everything you need in West Lafayette. The supermarket's right across the street. Fresh Time Market's across Sagamore Parkway. All the shopping and everything that you need in West Lafayette are right there. And it's just down the street from West Lafayette High School, which is just down the road off of Salisbury, off of Grant rather, just down here. So just a couple of mile drive there. So that is where Barberry Heights is located. And let's have a little look into how sales and what the market has looked like in Barberry Heights for the last few years. So it's a slightly larger neighborhood than the last neighborhood that we looked at. Barberry. In the last year, there have been 16 homes sold or listed for sale. There are currently 2 active for sale. So if you want to buy one right now, you can get in. The homes were built in the 1960s and 70s in this neighborhood. And the pricing, the median price has been $300,000 with a low of $259,900 and a high of $328,000. So again, like solid pricing for the area, not too high, not too low. And on square footage, these houses on the small side, the ones that have sold, of 1,100 square feet, 15, 15, 16, 18, 18, a handful of 2s, and then a handful of 3,300 square foot homes. So there's a variety of homes sizes available in the Barberry neighborhood, and I just can't express to you, what a convenient neighborhood it is to everything in West Lafayette. It's just super central. I know that there are lots of people there that just absolutely love the neighborhood. So let's have a look at one of the homes that are currently for sale. So let's see. We have one that's been on the market for 3 weeks and one that's been on the market for 4 weeks. Let's look at the bigger one. So the smaller of the two is 2,400 square feet and the bigger one is 3,200 square feet. The 3,200 square foot is currently listed at $509,000. It is 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car attached garage. It's got a 10 by 40 in-ground pool. So if you need to go cool off here in the summer, it is the place to go check out. Let's have a look. So there is the outside. We're just going to scroll through and look for the fun stuff. There's the in-ground pool. Looks like it hadn't been open for the season when the pictures were taken. So I'll use your imagination for water. There it is, opened. Okay, that's much better. I like that. Looks like you got that covered porch. Okay. You've got looks like you got the kitchen connected to the dining room, connected to the living room, kind of that semi-open concept going on there. Got the fireplace with the wood wall. What do you guys think of this? Do you like number 1 or number 2 better? Are you going to go with Barberry Heights? Are you going with Highland Park? What's your neighborhood of choice? If you're interested in any of these homes, don't forget, reach out. My contact information is down in the description below. There's the dining room. Yeah, so you can see the dining room's got the pass-through bar to the living room there. Some of the bedrooms. Big glass-doored shower. This is just an example of a home in Barberry Heights. Oh, that wood-burning stove downstairs is pretty cool looking. I like that. Got the shiplap in the bathroom. Kind of got the cedar look in this bathroom. Yeah, there's that screened in, I don't think it's screened in porch, but that enclosed porch. It's got the windows, so 3-season porch, if you will. So definitely interesting home that's available in Barberry Heights. Again, just across the street from everything in West Lafayette. So that's neighborhood number 2 in the West Lafayette area, in the Lafayette and West Lafayette area. The third hot neighborhood that we're going to look at is also in West Lafayette, and it is New Chauncey. Now, Chauncey is so well known in West Lafayette as the neighborhood where all the shopping and restaurants and bars are there in Lafayette. But the New Chauncey neighborhood is just kind of the next neighborhood north of that. And we'll have a look here. And it's kind of bordered on the south by Fowler Avenue. It stretches north up through Chauncey Avenue, over here on Grant Street and Robinson Street. So it's kind of centered in this area. And there are some student rentals for sure in this neighborhood, but then there are, all these homes, there are a lot of great single family homes. And when you walk down Chauncey Avenue, it's astounding. It's almost like a throwback neighborhood. It's got the trees and the leaves on the street, almost like a Hallmark movie. It's really kind of cool. So that's where it's located. And let's have a look at how things have been doing in New Chauncey over the last year. So over the last year in New Chauncey, there have been 7 homes sold or listed for sale. The median price sold was $410,000. Again, like right on track with what I would expect for a neighborhood of this kind in West Lafayette. The low price was $276 and the high was $460. So that's quite a bit of a range. Currently, let's see, they are all about 100 years old. Most of them are right about 100 years old in the 90s or low hundreds. The ones that I'm looking at, there are 2 that are a little younger. One was 75 years old and one is 88 years old. So these homes have definitely been there a little bit longer, but they bring that, charm, that certain je ne sais quoi with them that you don't get from a newer home, that's for sure. So there are actually no current listings in New Chauncey for right now. They go fast. If one comes up for sale, it's going to sell now, not tomorrow, not the next day. They do not last in this neighborhood. Why? Because it's walkable to Purdue University. Whether you're a student, a staff member, a professor, an associate professor, an administrator, whatever you might be, there are those that are on staff there that are students there that, they want to be able to walk. And this is the definition of that walkable neighborhood. It's about as close as you can get to Purdue in an established neighborhood that isn't just, full, chock-a-block full of student rentals. So let's have a look at let's see, how about size? Total square footage, they're all around 2,000, 3,000, around 2,000 to 2,500 square feet. There was one that's a little bit smaller. Let's go by selling price. We want to see interesting things. Let's look at the most expensive. $475,000. 1,450 above ground square feet, 728 below, for a total of 2,178. It was built in 1920, has 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. So let's check out 935 North Chauncey. This is the most expensive sale in the last 12 months in the New Chauncey neighborhood. It's got the gray siding and the red door. Kind of the galley style kitchen. Got the cabinets there in the dining room in the back for a little extra storage. Dining room. So, this is just like a regular run-of-the-mill, early 1900s house. It's great. Like look at the fireplace and mantle. But what is really driving the price here is that location, its closeness to Purdue University, and also to West Lafayette junior and senior high schools. It's actually closer probably actually closer to those schools, their one campus, than they are to Purdue. And that is also a big draw. Some families just really want to be in walking distance to the high school, to the junior high, and then there are also people that need to be in walking distance to both West Lafayette schools and Purdue University. So it's really checks a whole lot of boxes. The downstairs area, definitely. You can see they added the escape window downstairs so that can be legally listed as a bedroom. That's what bedrooms are. That's really the definition of bedroom is there egress? Is there two forms of egress? So you can get out the door or you can get out the window. And that's really it. Doesn't matter if there's a closet or not. It really just comes down to egress. The double stack washer and dryer in the bathroom. And you're kind of wedging a lot into, an older home. Again, this is being driven by the location. So 3 hot neighborhoods in the Lafayette and West Lafayette area. Neighborhood number 1, Highland Park, one of the original older neighborhoods of the Lafayette area. And then we looked at Barberry Heights, one of the central neighborhoods of West Lafayette, close to shopping and groceries and everything that you need in West Lafayette. And it's also just down the street from the rec center, from the new West Lafayette Rec Center. And then we also looked at New Chauncey, which is kind of the quintessential neighborhood close to Purdue University and Lafayette and West Lafayette junior, senior high schools. So I hope you enjoyed that look at those 3 neighborhoods. And remember, At Lafayette Live is brought to you by me, Geoff Gooch, realtor with the Russell Company, powered by At Properties. And if you're interested in any of those 3 neighborhoods or home anywhere here in the Lafayette, West Lafayette, Tippecanoe County area, I'd love to be your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice. Please reach out to me, geoff@russellteam.com. You can call or text me at 765-413-6190. Scan that QR code right there, and check out all of my information directly on your phone or device. And do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. We have a library of more than 150 videos on the channel now. Neighborhood tours, information about Lafayette and West Lafayette, the best restaurants in town, all sorts of great fun information here about Lafayette. So like and subscribe so that you're notified when we put up new content. And then make sure that you join us next Monday, July 15th, for our next installment of At Lafayette Live. I'll see you then.